So I'm going to share my screen. I'm Mr. Anthony Chilaka from Vividex, and I'm here to tell us on what we need to know. I call it data literacy, what we need to know to start off on this journey. So I'll just share my screen now. And once you can see my screen, tell me if you can see my screen. So data literacy. We're bringing it to you from Tech in Transit and Vivid Explorer. So now at the end of this session, we are going to know about what is data, types of data analysis, and the three skills Doctor talking about. That is what we're going to wrap up. So the first thing, what is data? We've heard that data is all around us, and we're just told now that we should start calling ourselves data analysts from day one. We should not wait until the end of this session before we can tell or call ourselves data analysts. Data is all around us, which makes data literacy an essential life skill. It is a skill that empowers you to ask the right questions about data and choose the right tools to read, interpret, and communicate data. Examples of data, your bank transactions. You know, when you want to understand where the whole 1,000 naira or where the 5K you have in your account has gone to, you're analyzing data. Phone call records, when you want to check that you're spending so much money on call records, you're analyzing data. Many of us have Netflix, YouTube, those who are into gaming, PlayStation Network, you know, when you want to go through or you want to know what game you're going to play, you're analyzing data. Browser history, these are all data. Now, data literacy, what is the importance of data literacy? In the 1980s, it was all about computer literacy, you know. Then the Millennium Bug. How many of us can remember that far back Millennium Bug? If you can remember Millennium Bug, just say bug in the chat room. For those of us who are around when they say Y2K, that the whole world is going to end, you know. Okay, good, bug. Okay, good, bug. Yeah, some of us remember Y2K, yes. So that was the internet literacy. And right now we're in the age of what is called the data literacy, when we have to understand what data is. There's so many talk about data privacy and all that. So it is important that we know data. It is important we know how to interact with data. And it is also important for us to know what we can do with data. So the definition of data literacy is that data literacy can be defined as follows. It is the ability to read, work with, analyze, and communicate insights we get from data. And the three main components are here. You read data, you work with data, and you communicate your insights. Now, as a data analyst, when you're in the field, you're going to be given data sets in different forms, dirty data, clean data, but data normally comes very, very dirty. So you need to be able to read that data, understand the data, know what kind of data you're working with. Then you now get to the stage of analyzing it. What tool are you going to use in analyzing it? You know, now as a data analyst, take it from us all you have heard today. All you need is your three basic tools: SQL, Excel, and a visualization tool, that is Power BI. These three things, and you're good to know. Now is not the time for you to be hopping from one tool or the other. No. Now is the time to focus on these three things which has been packaged in this bootcamp, and you're good to go. Reading data, that is identify the relevant data sources, you know, collect the data, and then you manage the data which you have collected. Working with data. As a data analyst, like I said, these three things: SQL, Excel, and Power BI. There is something that someone once said. His name is Deval Patel. He said, Power BI is Excel on steroid. So focus, commit to yourself to stay till the end of this program. Do not look at the amount you paid. Rather, look at it. Value our time. The CEO said something. You should show respect for the time that every facilitator is putting into this and show up. Just
your
like
slide is not showing.
My slide is not showing.
I mean, as you're moving around, the slide is not changing. Yeah.
Oh wow, sorry about that.
Mm.
Working with data and analyzing data.
Yeah. Can you move it now to be
Okay.
sure that it's moving along with you?
Okay. Did it move now?
Just use your arrow keys can also work for that.
Yeah. I just did that. And
Okay.
it moves, right? Communicating
Again.
insight with data.
Good.
Can you see?
Again? Yeah.
All right, good. So communicating insight with data. So finally, no insight is valuable if we don't know what to do with it. That's the main purpose of communicating, because we as human beings, we are moved by sight. When we all get into the industry, you get to realize that the project owner is not bothered about how much time you put into the particular project you're working on. All they just want to understand why their revenue is dropping. And at the end of the day, it is your work as a data analyst to be able to show in pictures, in bar charts, in pie charts, in histogram, in whatever visuals you choose, your ability to be able to pick the right visuals for the particular problem you have at hand. That is what makes you a data analyst, not the number of tools you have learned, not the number of programming languages you've been able to learn. If you need a particular programming language, no, it is your ability to be able to interpret those insights into your final deliverables. Now, data sources. Now we have so much data sources available, and they are broken down into two. There's open data and internal data. Open data are publicly available data. Bureau of Statistics, like for us who are in Nigeria, Bureau of Statistics is a source of open data. The next one is internal data. That is customer data, transaction data, website data, and survey data. These are all examples of internal data. Now, the journey I'm taking us on is the journey of data literacy, so that you will understand that data is all around you. We will all understand that this is what we need to do with data and how we can work with data. Now, common types of data. During the course, when we start the Excel class and the Power BI class and the SQL class, you get to realize that there are some kind of data, structured data and unstructured data. Now, structured data is data that is in tabular form, comes with rows and columns. You would deal with so many of them when you're doing your Excel session. Unstructured data, these are data that has no predefined structure. Because of that, more processing is necessary before these types of data can be used in analysis. Unstructured data are normally stored in document databases, while structured data are normally stored in relational databases. Now, we now have quantitative data and qualitative data. Quantitative data describes something numerical, that is, it can be measured or counted, like the distance between your home and your place of work. Now, qualitative data is something that is categorized, that can be observed, like the color of one's eyes. That is qualitative data. So unlike quantitative data, qualitative data gives us statistics and measures, So for instance, you can calculate average length, but you cannot calculate average color of something. So that's the marked difference between quantitative and qualitative data. Now, as a data analyst, remember I mentioned that that in the real world, the data set you work in is going to be very dirty. Bulk of the time you're going to spend is on cleaning up data. So there are common problems with data. That data is dirty, data errors. Data error sometimes occurs when you're moving data from, let's say, there's what is called on-premise. When you're moving from the on-premise system to the cloud, there would be problems in the pipeline. There's what they call data pipeline. You all get to understand all this down the line. So data errors could occur from that. Change in currency, when whoever works on the data is moving the data from dollars to naira, you see some columns so you need to sort all that before you start working on your data set. You could have problems with missing data. Communication is key in the sense that you need to go back to the owner of the data set and tell them that, okay, we have so and so rows missing, and this is going to, and if you have close to 60% rows missing, you have to go back to drawing board and tell whoever is the owner of the project that this is going to affect our sample because the pool is already compromised. 60% of the data is missing. And that is what is going to bring the consequences of your data problem, which is bias and wrong analysis. So types of analysis, when we're talking of data analysis, we have descriptive analysis, which focuses on summarizing and visualizing data. That is the types of analytics that can be done. And this goes to answer the question, what is happening? That is the variables, what variables and the characteristics of interest. A company will say their transactions is going down. So they want you to carry out a descriptive analysis to say what are those parameters responsible for dwindling revenue. Exploratory data analysis. That is the exploratory data analysis, EDA. Often it is contracted with hypothesis testing. That is, it goes to answer the question, what is the most common value? It combines different techniques to gain a comprehensive picture of the data, including basic descriptive and most advanced technologies such as cluster analysis to find groupings. That is a type of data analysis. Then you now have diagnostics analysis. That is potential cause of events or reason for behaviors. While diagnostic analysis can provide evidence for possible causes, it can be tough to prove that there is an actual causal relationship. That is, why is this happening? That is the diagnostics analysis. Predictive analytics. That is future events. In the banking sector, they want to know, a lot of loan apps now are coming up. When you default, you now come back and you're now told that you cannot be given a particular loan, or the loan that you applied for is reduced. It's because of the predictive analysis. The system has already classified me as one who is prone to defaulting. Or when you want to apply for a loan and they say profiling, that is the predictive analysis. That is what it says, what will happen. It goes to answer the question, what will happen. Now, the 3 skills, which we have been talking about. 2 skills. Doctor said something about 2 skills. Now, I want to beg to as many of us who are on this program, you will be tempted to focus so much on the Excel, the Power BI, and the MySQL that you'll be taught. But remember something that Dr. Dekule said. He said 3 things are going to be taught. You're going to work on your mindset. That is the next one, which is the soft skill. Your mindset. You should be able to communicate, emotional intelligence, your adaptability, problem solving, leadership skill, teamwork. You're going to be grouped into team. You start now. If you're not a team player, start now to be a team player. Many of us are thinking that domain expertise, what we know, look, even if you're from whatever domain, you get to understand that a data analyst can perform different functions in different domains. We're getting there. But just know that that domain knowledge of yours can be transferred, soft skill, transferable skill, can be transferred to your present role now, this present transition you're trying to make into data analytics. And the final one, your mindset, your networking skill. Now, your hiring manager on your street may not know that you are good in A, B, and C if you do not put yourself out there. But a hiring manager in New York, Dr. Adekule, who is in UK, would know what you can do, because you have put yourself out there on LinkedIn. My dear people, this next 12 weeks, if you're a keyboard warrior, for those who know what keyboard warrior is on Twitter, you know how to rant on Twitter, you know how to rant on TikTok. Do yourself a favor, pause your TikTok time, your Twitter time this period. Let LinkedIn be all you drink, sleep, and do. Start now to optimize your LinkedIn page. Look at LinkedIn pages of people who are already in the industry. Do what they do. Copy smartly. Start documenting your learning. Today, you can go and say, I was on so and so program today, and this and this and this is what I hope to learn during the course of this week. You start taking note. I'll tell you something. I met Adekule, Dr. Adekule, on LinkedIn, and now we talk. If we don't talk, we talk at least once in 2 days. That is how powerful LinkedIn is. And look at me here now, presenting, an introduction of this program. It is through LinkedIn. LinkedIn is powerful. LinkedIn is powerful. I am a freelancer on the other side. Part of my gigs I've gotten through LinkedIn. So pause your TikTok time, pause your Twitter time, pause your Netflix time. Let LinkedIn be all you eat, drink, and sleep for the next period. Now, document your learning, like I said. Be genuine, show genuine interest. When you show genuine interest, believe you me, do not go for likes. Now is not the time to start looking for likes. LinkedIn is not Facebook. LinkedIn is where your potential hiring person will just save your post. You will not know, you will not be notified that he has saved your post. But when the time is right, they would reach out to you. We're in a world where it is show, don't tell. It's not about I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that, and nobody is seeing that you can do it. That is the age we're living in now. Show, don't tell. Now, 80% of jobs do not get on job boards. This is Forbes. So what it tells you is that you have more chances of landing a job if you do the right thing, if you show, if you take networking serious, if you take this mindset thing serious, if you take your soft skill, your transferable skill serious, improving on them serious, and then your tool skills, a combination of these three things will land you that job you're looking for. Now, the final, in summary, domains and functions. The 5 main domains are FMCG, fast-moving consumer goods, automotive industry, the banking industry, healthcare, insurance. These are the 5 domains. So all of us who are here, if you've been working or if you're planning to move, you will fall into any of these domains. And you can function as either a sales analyst in any of the domains. You can function as a sales analyst either in the FMCG, automotive, banking, healthcare, insurance. You can function as a marketing analyst in any of these 5 domains. You can function as a HR analyst, people analyst, whatever it is called. Here it's called HR analyst. Abroad it's called people analyst. When you're talking of inclusiveness and all that, when they're trying to understand why the company is having churn analysis, all that, You can function as a HR analyst. You can function in the supply chain, value chain. So many of you, one of the things you should research upon now is e-commerce. E-commerce. I'll give an example of what an e-commerce company is. Kunga is an e-commerce company. They do not have shop outlets in every state, but they have a platform. Amazon is an e-commerce company. Jumia is an e-commerce company. You can be a supply chain analyst on this. You can be an e-commerce analyst, for Konga, which is into supply chain. You can be a financial analyst. You can be a financial analyst in any of these domains, either on FMCG, automotive, banking, healthcare, insurance. Now, I'll tell you something for free. Healthcare is one area that is opening up to an analytics, because a lot of areas need to explanations as regards the healthcare, giving healthcare to the elderly and all that. So, in summary, there's a whole lot that you can do as a data analyst. So I have come to the end of my talk. I hope I have not overshot the time given to me. Thank you very much, everyone.